Well, there's two little bits of information, some fun news that I have to share with you on the vlog today. The first is all about some Dungeons and Dragons movie information. What? Yes, stay tuned. And the second is Steve Jackson Games launched their Kickstarter today for CarWars 6th edition. Oh, good stuff today. Let's get right into it. All right. I almost don't even know where to start. So I'm just going to throw in here and say, if you're only interested in Car Wars, skip ahead a little bit. If you're only interested in the Dungeons and Dragons movie, then stay tuned right here at the beginning and just you can skip over the Car Wars bit if that's not your thing. But anyway, one way or the other, let's get right into this. Welcome to the vlog. Hey, I am Gregory. Of course, this is 1 in 20 D&D. If this is your first time here, I talk about all kinds of stuff, Dungeons and Dragons and RPGs. And today, I'm super excited because I was reading on comicbooks.com. I will put the link in the information on this video so you can read the article yourself. I was reading in comicsbook.com an article that was talking all about an actual movie slated for release in 2021, no less. That's going to be Dungeons and Dragons. And not only that, it's actually Paramount Studios working together with Hasbro. Of course, if you don't already know, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast produces Dungeons and Dragons. So apparently this was, from what I read in the article, this was like exclusive release news kind of info. And I'm excited. I mean, I'm thrilled. This is one of the things I love to talk about the most, right? Cartoons and movies and how it's related to Dungeons and Dragons. So this is huge news as far as I'm concerned. Right out of the gate in the article, they talk about the fact that it's actually going to have an adventuring party that is apparently in search of like some ancient artifact or mystical, legendary, whatever magic item. And essentially, if there's any truth in what is to be read in the article, basically, they're going to be seeking the Eye of Vecna. They made some pretty bold statements in the article that apparently this is actually going to be sort of like canon material, or at the very least, it's going to exist in the realm, or in the worlds of the Forgotten Realms, because they referenced a dragon that has ties to the greater story and is sort of a protector, and it's just, there's too much in the article for me to cover it all in my vlogs here. I just wanted to let you know about it and just maybe tease it a little bit, maybe inspire you to read the article for yourself. It's a short article. I just don't want to I'm not going to word it, I'm not going to read it for verbatim. And I just wanted to touch what to me were the high points, which is pretty much Dungeons and Dragons movie. I'm done. If there's a Dungeons and Dragons movie in the next 2 or 3 years, I'm stoked. So if it's actually going to come out in 2021, that's super cool. I love most of the stuff that Paramount Studios does. So if they're truly on board, I mean, I think Hasbro has some clout. They've done well. They've positioned themselves well. They've made some really wise business choices over the last several years, or let's say the last decade or so. And yeah, they have some clout and some power and position, and this could be awesome for us gamers. So enough about that. Let me get into this second bit of news, which has me almost as excited, if not more excited, to be honest. One of the games that I love, I've been playing since high school, is Car Wars. For a short time, it was also called Dual Track, and it's even been called Auto Duel. There's actually a computer game for any of you old school nerds like me that might remember the game Auto Duel, which was a super fun video game. It was kind of terrible but fun at the same time, and boy would I love to see like a really good revision of that game, because it's just plain fun. And so this is an RPG game, but it's more of a combat simulator game than an RPG game, because basically what the game boils down to is you design a car, you arm it, you give it weapons. I mean, you literally put armor on it. So you arm and armor it, I guess. That's the way I should say it. You put weapons and armor on this, design it, put the engine in you want, whether it's gas or electric, and all this, the tires and all this kind of cool stuff, right? You design the car, and then you got to have a crew. So you have to have, at the very least, you have to have a driver, and sometimes you have a gunner, and sometimes if you do silly stuff like in one of our most recent games, you have like a clown car with 3 dudes and like rifles or pistols or whatever that jump out and try to shoot at your enemies. So there's all kinds of ridiculous shenanigans that happen in this game. Let me tell you, I have seen quite a few through the years. And here it is. So they started the Kickstarter today. Again, of course, links in the information on this video. They started, so Steve Jackson's Games, they launched the Kickstarter for 6th edition Car Wars. Now, in this game, what it looks, the first little bits I've noticed, and they've already, you know what? When I've just checked like not even an hour ago, they were already like 3 times overshot from their goal. Their goal was $80,000, $80,000, a very modest goal, and they were at like $250,000 pledged already. So they've hit like a dozen or more of their stretch goals, and they just keep adding more. And Steve Jackson Games, they know what they're doing. They've done this in the past. They've done Kickstarters in the past. They've been around since like 81. 1981 is when I think the original Car Wars was released. And they might have even I think actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they were probably around even before that. But I'm not so sure. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on that. But for certain, they've been around the block, and they've done a few things. They're still in business and still producing really cool, fun stuff. You might know some of their other titles. Another one of their titles is Ogre. They also did the cool game Toons, which is super fun. Like, if you want to really literally be a cartoon character, you can do that. All kinds of zany stuff. See, and you know what, though? Now, come to think of it, you younger folks that are, hitting the vlog here, you might know them from the game Munchkins. Yeah, that's Steve Jackson Games. Munchkins, the card game, which is super fun. That's Steve Jackson Games. So, Car Wars 6th edition. So two of the things I know, I was about to say, two of the things that I noticed right away when I looked at the Kickstarter. First is that I think in this 6th edition, they're leaning it fully into it being a miniature game. That is to say, little miniatures that you can paint. And check this out. I don't know for certain, but in the past, one of the cool things you could do, in fact, yeah, let me pull these babies out. Check this out. Ba-boom. Oh, it's green. That doesn't work as good. But look at that. I'm going to go up there. See how I have like screening? I busted out the windows. I screwed up the paint job and like made it so it had this like rusted metal kind of look. All right, that one's not as good. This one is going to be better. Ba-bam. This was like 15-year-old Gregory. Oh, come on, focus. Work with me. There it is. Anyway, you can see the screen. I put some guns on it. Look at this. And I just have these around. I didn't even pull these out special for this video, y'all. This is the kind of super geek I am. So, Matchbox cars, right? Matchbox cars, G.I. Joe guns. If you like DIY stuff, Car Wars, whatever. Just making miniatures, doing modeling for your games is all kinds of fun. So Car Wars is going to be, number one, focused on miniatures. That's what it looked like. Whereas the old versions, the versions I played, were based on these little cardboard cutout tokens, which were great. Like these cardstock tokens that were like little tiny things about an inch long. So everything was on a 1 inch, or actually technically a 1/4 inch grid. So you could do the turns and all this. They've since revised it, of course. This is 6th edition. So now it's going to be miniature based, which probably means more like rulers and that kind of thing. But also, one of the other things I noticed, and I don't know if they did this previously, I think this might be just for 6th edition, they've added their own dice. So, similar to like Fantasy Flight games or some other games that are starting to use their own like game-specific dice, Car Wars has now done this too. That kind of makes me like, I don't really like that kind of thing, because that's like, now you have to buy the dice. But essentially it looks like they're all 6-sided die based, and if that's the case, you can make conversion charts. You roll a d6, and if it's a 1, it means this. If it's a 2, it means that. So you can do conversions. That's fine, and use your own dice. We can make die rollers online and all that kind of stuff, or make little apps and things. So all of that will be handled. Bottom line is, if you can't already tell, I'm pretty darn excited about it. Not only that, I play Car Wars, and right up here, I'm going to put a link right now to my little mini-series of, we did a while back, me and some buddies. This is actual play, but we're total this was like, this is not, oh God, we're not streamers, so there's like background noise and all that kind of funky stuff. But if you can get past that, the actual gameplay is fun, and we're old friends and we're good friends, and so we just like, we're constantly ribbing each other and giving each other hell. So there's lots of shenanigans, all kinds of cars blowing up and goofiness. So if any of that sounds even remotely interesting, please enjoy that actual gameplay of Car Wars. Then this is our sort of homebrewed version of Car Wars. We played it on Roll20 and that kind of stuff. I think the very first one is audio only. I think it goes like the second or third, we actually started using Roll20, and the maps start like moving with the actual play. I started tracking what was happening and stuff, so it's a little easier to follow further on. So you could maybe skim through, watch them all, please. Help me, I guess. But if for real though, they get better and better. Each one, we're all having more fun. We're getting more fluid with how we're playing on Roll20, and oh my God, by the last session in that little mini series, because it was like a tournament we did. So so you have a certain amount of credits or money or dollar, whatever you want to call it, and you can purchase bigger and badder and more tougher cars. And so it got more and more exciting as we went through, and it was like a team battle. And enough. Okay, I won't go into it anymore. Check it out if you want. It's there in my channel, and you can watch it anytime you like. Thanks for sticking around and hearing me just like, be a little goofball about all this tonight. Hey, it's Friday night, so we do have a Tabletop Galaxy. We have our Table Talk Galaxy is tonight. We'll be back this coming week with a new Tabletop Galaxy on Wednesday. We have We Out Here on Monday, so come by for that on my Twitch channel and all that good stuff. Hey, you know what? Y'all are great. I hope you had a wonderful holiday if you celebrate it here in the US, and even if you don't, I just hope you had a great, wonderful week. I'll see you next time here on the vlog. Keep rolling 20s until then, and remember, it's your game. Play your way.